want to thank ICAN for inviting me, but more importantly, for this initiative to bring candidates of political parties, gubernatorial candidates of political parties, to come and be with you. This is critical. I don't think I'll be terribly off the mark if this is a new initiative. And this initiative is significant in that it underscores the rising awareness in the critical consciousness of the electorate, of our citizens. And this consciousness is on account of the difficulties we are now experiencing in our country. Difficulties with insecurity, difficulties with our economy, difficulties with infrastructure, difficulties with the fidelity in public office, difficulties with trust, the trust deficit between the citizens and government, and difficulties with inflation, difficulties with the education sector, difficulties with so many things. Gentlemen, please, can you move away? The light is coming into my eyes. Please, thank you. And yes, I have been introduced as Frank Nweke Jr., that is who I am. But I always like to share my background with people, my lineage. I am from EOY, in the Kunie West local government area of Enugu. Born to late EOY Frank Nweke, who passed on in 2012. I am the grandson of APGA. I'm also the great grandson of someone called Nwanne Okoro. No more Hajo. No Bodo. Nani. Mission. The family of the Gubernatorial. All were very, very important. Kawata, that they could. I don't think. Having said that, let me also say that I've had the opportunity to be consultant to government on economic affairs as far back as 1999. I've also had the opportunity to be state coordinator of the Community County Council, which was a poverty alleviation initiative for rural communities, which took me around the 209 communities as they then were in the state. My job was to set up what we call community development committees in order for government to partner with rural communities to address their most pressing issues on an agreed framework. Subsequently, I became chief of staff to the governor for 2.5 years. And from that position, I got nominated as Minister, first for Intergovernmental Affairs and Special Duties, and subsequently as Minister for Intergovernmental Affairs, Youth Development and Special Duties, and subsequently again as Minister for Information and National Registration, and lastly as Minister for Information and Communication. And when I had done with that, when I left the cabinet in 1999, I went back to school to take a second master's degree from Harvard Kennedy School of Government. And just as I rounded up, I was then again appointed Director General of the Nigerian Economic Summit Group. The reason why I've taken time to share this with you is to hopefully let this audience know and convince this audience that I have thrown my heart in the ring with tremendous capacity, with tremendous experience, with tremendous competence. And I want to say that there's no other candidate on the ballot today that comes to the table, that has come into the ring with the same set of experience at the highest levels, locally and internationally, and with a diverse range of experience on the economy, on public administration, in the civic and non-civic sectors. I do not say this in any way to undermine the achievements of any of my competitors. I honor their achievements, I celebrate Then, what I'm saying, head to head, toe to toe. More will keep an married uncle. The second, that I stand tall, shoulder to shoulder, much taller, much prepared on issues of public sector management, on issues of even private sector management. These are the qualities, these are the experiences that are brought to the table. Now, today, I'm not going to waste your time to tell you how I'm going to build 100-story skyscrapers. No, I'm not going to waste your time telling you about highfalutin projects that I'm going to go and do for you. The issues that confront us as people today, unfortunately, are the most basic issues of human existence. The high job is water. We want to drink water in Enugu. That's what we want. Water, right? What we want in Enugu, smooth roads on which we can drive our cars. So that not only will I go home and take Panadol after driving around for the day, because now also Onye in Enugu is in bad shape, and not and then by weekend, I also take my vehicle to the mechanic to get his own Panadol. We want smooth roads. More than anything else, we want security. As we are sitting here, the reason why I'm not going to issues on this afternoon is because yesterday the attacks resumed. Our people have been slaughtered in issues. You can't go out during the day because of kidnapping. If your children are coming back from anywhere, Egypt, Obinaka, you're worried. You're fasting and praying even before you go out. These are the issues that confront us. The issues that confront us is high unemployment amongst our young people. So I see the young people in the audience. And I'm happy that right now you're under your parents' rules. But who are those that left before you? They are still out there languishing without jobs. This is a major problem to parents. Our issue is that our senior citizens are completely ignored, disrespected, maligned, treated with utmost and utter disrespect. Their pensions are not paid. Their gratuities are not paid. Their retirement benefits are not paid. These are the issues that confront us. The issues that confront us is that food insecurity. Our people are hungry. And as I crisscross the walls and the communities in Enugu State, I met a Mother Jr. I met a little Kino. I met Dabere Jubu. I met Benedict. I have met Nkea. These are young little kids, 3 years, 4 years. Some are others, 5 years, 7 years. These children are without clothing. These children are starving. I see their parents and I see their mothers. Some of those that have mothers, those who have none, those who have fathers, they are starving. Food insecurity is a major problem. These are the things that confront us. Let us not deceive ourselves. Let us not deceive ourselves. Before this hotel, this structure was put here, there was a foundation. These are the foundations that should have been laid way back. And indeed, those foundations were laid. But regrettably, those that came after the people that laid these foundations did not pay attention. And so we are almost at ground zero. Water first flowed in Enugu in 1924. That was when water first flowed. And as recent as 7 years ago, water flowed in this state, and we see water in the house. 7 years ago, water was flowing. So it is total. So what has happened in the last 7 years? What has happened is the leadership change. The quality of leadership is the difference. The quality of leadership from 1924 to now is the difference. In the last 7 years, it is still the same leadership. That is why we do not have water in Enugu. In addition to that, it is ineptitude and corruption. It is a soulless leadership. A leadership that has no compassion, no soul, no fear of God. And we know the people. It is called the People's Democratic Party. Right? It is the People's Democratic Party. They are the ones that have brought us to where we are today. And so the question is, how do I want to deal with this? And I have a 7-point agenda. The first one is the matter of leadership. Everything rises and falls on leadership. Everything rises and falls on leadership. Mr. Ezema was an excellent head of service. Our service thrived under him. Our service thrived under him. Because of the leader that recognized that he needed competent people. Right? Nkea is what it is today because there was a woman here who was chief accountant, who had the capacity, who had the competence, who made the foundation. Right? So, for me, I offer a leadership that is visionary, a leadership that has character, a leadership that is competent, a leadership that has the fear of God, a leadership that will tell you good morning, and you don't need to go and check and see whether it is good morning. Right? The second thing that I offer you is governance. 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 As recent as 7 years ago, a governance structure was put in place where commissioners were real commissioners. Even commissioners are not commissioners. You're in charge of your ministry. We had a governance structure where local government chairmen knew they were local government chairmen. They built roads. I was in Nkea West a few days ago, and I see the roads that Nkea came up. The roads he built, yes, a few of them are very good, but those roads were built. Built with drainages, because there was a leadership that had the discipline to allow the local government system to work. That never cost them money. Right? I will not sit in my office and award contracts for water. I will not sit in my office as governor and award contracts for waste management. And if one throws an award contract, even the trucks need to be trashed. The trucks are even worse than the refuse they are trying to carry. I will not do that for my office. I will not sell land for my office. I will not exchange documents for land in my office. That is what government is. Because I will have a commissioner for land that I will trust, enough to do what is there. That's what I'm going to do. The third thing I'm going to talk about, the third aspect of my agenda that I offer you today is the matter of security. This is not a big deal. Let's just hold on a moment, please. If the people behind will be quiet, I would appreciate it. Please, madam, please. Thank you. This is not a big deal. How do we intend to do it? Without intelligence, security is nothing. You can't achieve sustainable security. In the police and the DSS, they are not magicians. They are human beings like you and I. The difference between us and them is that they have a uniform. They are agents of state and they bear arms in some instances. Our communities will be highly mobilized. The town unions will be highly mobilized. The traditional institutions will be highly mobilized to do what? To get engaged in the intelligence gathering process. It is you and I and these communities, when encouraged, when mobilized, that will provide information required for the security agents to be the best security agents that we have. That's number one. Number two is this. I've had the opportunity to really serve at the highest levels of government. And I'm in a position to tell you, either as former chief of staff, as former minister in the federal cabinet, and former member of the National Security Council, that without training, without equipment, without transportation, without communication, without technology, these police people and army people cannot do magic. So what happens, and I'm happy that Ms. Mobile is here, you know that in the prior 7 years, if you come to Chiba Junction, you see a vehicle parked there, police vehicle parked there, brand new, with proper communication equipment. You go to Green Road, you see another vehicle parked there. You come to ANT, you see another vehicle parked there. You get beyond the tunnel, you see another vehicle parked there. Why is that? Because you had a leadership that understood that without the right support, these policemen can only do much. They can only do so much. So I'm talking about one, intelligence gathering. I'm talking about equipment support. The third thing that must happen is that you must establish a communication channel between the government and these agencies and the citizens, where there are hotlines that are manned 24 hours a day, where people can easily call and say, I saw them, they just passed. And I will give you an example of what happened recently. In my community of Ozala, because of the insecurity, the Ozala elite came together and started to contribute money. There's no part of Ozala you go today where you don't have CCTV. And a few days ago, we apprehended some people. We apprehended them as they were patrolling, trying to give information to Fulani kidnappers. They were apprehended 3 days ago. It's not the first time. In the last, say, 8 to 10 weeks, we have reported kidnap attempts. We have arrested robbers because we are somewhere we are monitoring, we are seeing what they do. This is a community. And this thing can happen in a community, a state government can do. And this thing I'm telling you, don't know there. It's not a big deal. In Lagos, you have it. Even in APGA, they have it. And so Enugu State is going to be wired up. Completely and totally wired up. Because I recognize that without security, there's nothing you can do. The fourth thing that must happen is this. You must act like a government. And as I'm standing here, I speak as a government. And I speak as somebody who represents the interest of our people. There's nobody in this country, and I'm grateful to God for the opportunity that I want to see. Whoever becomes president, I will walk into that office and tell that person that I represent the people of Enugu State, and that we must receive the support we require to throw additional resources to our state. That is one critical advantage that I have because of my exposure across the length and breadth of this country, and because of the language power that I have. So you can imagine 100 that I need to speak that I will not speak. The fifth thing, or the fourth thing, the fourth is a matter of human capital development. You are our greatest resource. In the Bible, our people, the citizens are our greatest resource. Youngsters I see looking at me with great expectation, just listening with great attention. These are our resources. The professionals that are here, you are the resources that we have. A lot of education, tremendous capacity. You are the ones that we have. But today, how much room, how much incentive, how productive are you because of the operating environment which you have? How well are you able to do your job because you have the support system you require? How secure are you? Is the infrastructure support there? Is the learning support there? But most of all, these young people, what are they being taught today? Are they ready for the 20th, 21st century? Can they compete with people globally? So issues around curriculum, all of these things will be a major source of, will receive major attention from me. I don't know how many of you have followed what has been going on recently with our primary education sector. There has been incessant strikes. And if I have to choose one level of education, and it's a difficult choice, if I'm asked to choose between primary, secondary, and university, what do you think my choice would be? And yet, thank you so much, and yet, over the last several years and months, these level of our school system, they have been on incessant strikes because of the government that does not recognize them, does not understand the value of human capital development, does not respect the value of our children, does not understand that these are our heirs and our successors, does not understand that the future of our state lies in these young people that are here. And so these teachers are derived. These teachers are told, oh, don't worry, we'll soon be tired. It is a shame. What are they asking for? They are asking for the payment of minimum wage. Minimum wage of 30,000 naira agreed several years ago, in which most states, have been paying. That is what our mothers and our fathers are asking. Recently, I received a group of pensioners. The eldest amongst them, very elderly man with his walking stick. When he got up to speak, he said his greatest regret was becoming a teacher. And he said he had sworn to his children that any of them that chooses to go into teaching, that he will curse the person. And this is what you hear from time to time when you speak to these teachers. Not only are they not paid the minimum wage, in retirement, the pensions are nowhere to be received. How can you say you're interested in human capital development without paying attention to the foundational level, that primary school level, the formation years, the formative years, that is when you prepare that child's mind to receive. So issues of human capital, secondary, primary, and tertiary, they receive very massive and significant attention from my administration. Teachers will be trained, teachers will be encouraged, teachers will be paid the right salary. And something else I want to say is this. As I've gone around, I've talked so much about children who are starving. They are so hungry. You can see this child is starving. You see them, you see how bony and fashion-colored they look. And so, I want to be clear that a school meal program will be a cardinal aspect of my human capital development. Every child that goes to that school every day will have a meal, a balanced meal that he or she will be served. Because a hungry child cannot learn. it is in that formative years that they need all the nutrition they need for the brain formation. And once you miss that window, because these children come from poor backgrounds, then you've lost an entire generation. So school meal program will be a major agenda, a major policy thrust of mine. The next thing I want to talk to you about is the issue of water. Water, environmental water and sanitation and environmental sustainability. Enugu has become one of the dirtiest cities in the country. Meanwhile, only in the prior 7 years, we had motorized sweepers. Streets in Enugu. You know how clean our city was. The only competition we had was Calabar. Do you people remember that? Yes. But look at what has happened in the last 7 years. And so sanitation will be a top priority. Those past years when Enugu was cleanest, we are going to be the cleanest city, the cleanest state in the country, because we know what to do. Our predecessors did it, and we will take it to a totally different level. Water, I have said, is critical. Water, or mili bondo, as our people say, water is life. What can any human being do without water? And yet, in this capital city, as indeed in most rural communities, there is no water. There's no water to drink. You know what this means? What this then means is that people have to source for water from the most unusual places, water, polluted water, and all sorts. And I'm saying, in the last 7 years, over 50 billion naira has been earmarked and spent by this government under the pretext of trying to give people Enugu State water, but still we have no water. Now, that with my visionary leadership, with my strong determination, water will flow in Enugu within 12 months. And the communities, there are few communities where you don't have one water body or the other from which they get their water. What are we going to do? What we are going to do is very simple, which is to design a water system based on what we have. Most of these streams are perennial streams. They flow all year round. In some places, it's now possible for you to even get water from boreholes, unlike in the past, because of advancements in technology. We would strive to make sure that most communities have the water that they need. Because water has health implications. It has public health implications, you know that, right? And so, how am I going to do this? I'll explain. I've already spoken about at various times about how I'm going to bundle the water sector. Because part of that issue is not just the corruption, it is the ineptitude and incompetence that you have. But more importantly, the intense and terrible corruption, rushing that goes on in those places. Upon I know that rushing go like that. What a shame. What an embarrassment to these things. What a shame. What a shame that people who should show example actually celebrate graft, ineptitude, stealing, open stealing. You don't take what doesn't belong to you and use it for charity. It's unacceptable. The resources coming to this state belong to all of us, belong to the entire Enugu state, the entire citizens of Enugu state. It is for the entire state. It's not for any individual. It's not for your cronies. It's not for your friends. It's not for your family. It is for the entire people of Enugu state. You merely hold these things in trust as governor, having been asked to stay in front for us. None of these things will happen under my governorship. Yes. You can go and check my record. Go and check my record and see for yourself. Go and check my record and see for yourself. So we will unbundle the water sector into the harvesting of the water production. The people that will manage the production and the power supply needed to take that water out are different. Aggregate. The second part of it is the transmission. The people that pump the water into the transmission lines and then to take it to the reservoir. One group will manage it. The third group is the distribution group, the commercial group. Their duty is to take it from the reservoirs onto the various parts of Enugu for distribution. So they would connect, they would manage that downstream sector. While the upstream would be managed by the people who will harvest the water. 2, the people that will transport the water, and 4, the people that will distribute the water. It's very clear. That is what we currently have in the electricity sector. That is what we currently have. And that's the way it's going to work under our government. Once you do this, and what will happen to the water corporation? What will happen to water corporations? The water corporation is going to become the regulator. Their job is to make sure that the people who are taking the water out, through transmitting the water and totally distributing it, that they keep to the terms of the agreement we have reached, to make sure that the pumping of water does not stop for even a second. Number 2, the people transporting the water, it is their sole responsibility. So you don't have one group of people getting the water, transporting it, and also distributing it. No. We will break it up completely and eliminate it. Let me also tell you something else, talking about sanitation. I will say something. About two-thirds of the people living in Enugu live in urban slums. Here, if you don't agree with me, I will explain to you how. Does any of you here know the place called Bridgeporters? Remember about Bridgeporters? Remember? Does anybody know the place called Bunker? Does anybody know where Bunker is? Do you people know where Obed Camp is? Does anybody know Camp 1, Camp 2? Does anybody know New Jerusalem? Imarupi? You know all these places? You know a lot of places, people are. But let me explain something to you. There's even one of such places behind Government House, where you used to have the former Department of State Services. A massive slum where people cannot use the toilet. There's no water. If they want to use the toilet, what do? Nylon bag. Nylon bag in 21st century Enugu State. That's what you have. And 2/3 of the people of the state have to deal with this. In this urban city in the area here, this Ababa you're seeing here. To scan, it's Ababa. Or you people just sidestep it. Is that what you do? Please go inside and see. Go and see the suffering. That's why I'm telling you people that I just mean so going to go. I try to 20 skyscrapers or 50 skyscrapers. We are dealing with the most basic issues of human existence. Give water to our hearts. Undertake urban planning to give them dignity. Make sure they have toilets. Right? Make sure they have toilets. Make sure that you empower them, give them a means of livelihood. Create microcredit opportunities to empower these small, medium enterprises that are there. All these women that are on the sides of the road that are being harassed every day, extorted by local government officials, it will stop. It's not going to stop what I will not talking with you. Because these are the most vulnerable people in our society. These are the most vulnerable people. So all of this is here to currently in hand, but to just let you know that we're not just speaking for the speak. I remember when I first went to somewhere called Ugopi. I went to Iba Valley. Yes. I went somewhere, and one of them told me, Chief, I was told that the last time that anybody came there, they showed me a road that was constructed by the administration in which you served. Said since that time, no other person has set foot there. And that road is about to be destroyed by erosion. And when I went there, I asked them, can we go to the other place? They said, no, Grandma, that is the great bank. I said, why? They told me it is the most dangerous place in the world. I said, how? They said there's no type of gun that I want there that I will not see. They said there's no type of drug that I want there that I will not see. No one thing has to have it anywhere. They said they're not good. They said they won't go there. They said they won't go there. They said they won't. I said to myself, well, if you're going to the government, you must have courage. And I must understand what the issues are in its rawest form. I want to see it by myself. And they had to sit in the bus whilst I and a few other people we went up to somewhere called Ugobi. And indeed, it's one of the most dangerous places I've ever been in my life. But by 11 a.m. in the morning, you found men and women, boys and girls, who are already high. You can perceive it. Their conduct, their physique, are the most terrifying. The policemen, they are some. I'm a human being. But that's not even the worst. The worst for me was the mother Abuchi, a 3-year-old, sitting watching them. The one that broke my heart is Chinonso, 5-year-old, sitting watching them. My problem was a Maria, 7 years, sitting watching them in the midst of these people. The kinds of things they were doing, what they were consuming. That was what broke my heart. And what you see there is a pipeline, a constant pipeline, unless something is done. And from that peak where they are, the hilltop where I went, if you look direct, you're going to see the golf course. The golf course where the high and mighty go to entertain themselves. While these people live in those urban slums, toilets are there, they have to use nylon bags, or they have to do it openly. In a particular place in Iba Valley, they have a small space that they've agreed, that place is the open toilet for everybody. So they do that, and then, like during the, every week, they pour kerosene there and set it on fire. Man, ask yourself, during the rainy season, what will they do? All these things are washed into the community. Imagine what the health status of that place would be. Imagine what the health status would be. The last, in my agenda, this is a high-level summary I'm giving you, is a matter of technology and innovation. Technology and innovation. Enugu is blessed with a large number of young people. There is no other state in this country today that has 14 higher institutions of learning concentrated within 40-kilometer radius of each other. There's no other state where you have. It means that we have a lot of young people like the people in this audience. A lot of young people, bustling with tremendous talent and skill, bustling with tremendous capacity, just looking for a visionary government, a visionary leadership that will put the right policies, that will provide the right teaching aids, that will provide the right opportunities for them to be trained and for them to be competitive and to give them opportunities to have a good life. And that's why, for me, as governor, my policy on technology is focused on STEM, from primary to secondary, of course, to tertiary institutions for those who are so inclined. And recently, in not just science and technology, the arts, including entertainment, including drawing, artists, drawing, all of these areas are actually emerging as very important areas. And so, every year in this state, there will be what I call an entertainment week, when entertainers from this state and entertainers from the sub-region and from around the world will be mobilized to come here just to draw attention for our people to have opportunity and every year in this city, in this state, we're going to have what I call a fashion week, when again all the people in the creative arts will be mobilized across the sub-region and across this country to come to Enugu. Because there's a lot of our young people who, yes, with degrees and everything, they have interest in these areas. And so we must provide opportunity for them to actually really achieve their full potential. Every year in this city, we're going to bring media, information and communication, technology practitioners to come to Enugu for the benefit of our young people, for them to draw inspiration and for them to participate, and also to create opportunity for them to actually be the best that they can be. All of these initiatives will serve to feed into the tourism industry, hospitality, and the rest of it. Last but not the least, we're going to restore Enugu as the home of Nollywood. Nollywood was birthed here. Nollywood was birthed here. Living in bondage, created by our brother, Kenneth Okonkwo, was what triggered Nollywood around the country and around the world. But today, because of lack of visionary leadership, the home of Nollywood has literally been hijacked, taken to Edo State, taken to Delta State, but it will come back home. And so, Enugu is going to become the innovation hub. And we were well on our way there because I'm aware of the initiatives, of the investments that were made by a prior administration. We will restore Enugu as the technology hub, the technology and innovation hub of Enugu State. These things are no-brainers. These things do not require that much investment because I already have you, the young people here. The talent is there, the skill is there. All we need is just the policy environment, the little investment, the catalytic effort of government is what you require. So, as I said, I want to thank Madam President of ICAN and all of you for putting this together and for the critical consciousness you have in actually, bringing candidates and parties to the table to actually explain what they have in stock for the people of Enugu State. I also want to thank the entire management, former head of service. I want to thank all of you for being part of this, and I hope that this will become a tradition. Let me also thank the youngsters in the room, and just to tell you all that I'm doing this for you. I'm doing this for all of you. That's why I said, I have young stars like you. I have young stars like you. And like your parents, I'm worried about what is going to become of them. I'm worried about the city or the state in which they're going to live, about our homeland. I'm worried about what the future holds in store for them. And so whatever we achieve for the state under my administration will not just be for you, it will also be for me. And one can go to his grave when the time comes, knowing that at least you tried, you laid a foundation, which hopefully other people can build upon. Thank you for your time. May God bless them. Thank you.